Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Netgear Orbi, priced somewhere between $350 and $400 US. You're looking at what, in my opinion, may be the best router on the market right now. Now, there are a lot of mesh systems out there. Netgear has gone with a tri-band mesh system in order to basically facilitate the best throughput throughout the entire 4,000 square feet of coverage that the Orbi supposedly can handle in the two-unit form. You can always add another satellite. It is, of course, costly. But in doing so, Netgear claims you won't see a drop-off in coverage like you will with other mesh systems. And they do have their own take on mesh with the tri-band. I'm not going to get into that right now. Of course, there is an actual app for this. I'm going to just show you the side of the box here, or bottom. You see what comes inside: one Orbi, one satellite, an Ethernet cable, the power brick, if you will. There are two of them, of course, for each of the Orbi units. An important point here among the mesh competitors out there is that the Orbi does sport the largest number of actual Ethernet ports. So if you do still need hardwired connections and you're looking at something like Google's product, not ideal when compared to what we're looking at here. Also, AC3000 throughput, so they're really guaranteeing that no matter what caliber of connection you have, you're going to always have the best connection with the Orbi. One thing I do want to point out, definitely you're going to want to update your firmware as soon as you get this thing out of the box before setting it up. There is an application that you can use that Netgear has provided for Android and iOS devices alike, and essentially the concept is simple. Instead of using extenders like we all have in days past in order to stretch your reach with your router of respective choice, here you don't have to make any compromise at all. That's the idea. Mesh is all about actually taking whatever that source connection is and keeping it stable throughout. And Netgear is basically pitching that their third band ensures that you're not going to have a drop off. One thing I can tell you is that, I've done my research, as I do with most things electronics, as those of you who follow my channel already know, is that the Orbi is only going to show up with one SSID. So that means you're not going to be choosing which network, 2.4 or 5 gigahertz, to connect to. The Orbi is going to do that itself. You may not like the sound of that, but everything that I've seen really points to the performance still being great. So all things aside, it really comes down to performance. I love unboxings. Did you know I love unboxings? I can't even speak English anymore, apparently. But here it is. Nice packaging from Netgear. I had been working with a Linksys router until it was destroyed by the hurricane. But it's time for an upgrade. And oh, look at that. We've got the Orbi. Now, it is a little bit odd to me that it's coming up with my wireless settings right there for all of you to look at. Isn't that great? But more importantly, at the back of the home unit, you can see your port right here for the internet connection, and then 3 Ethernet outputs, USB 2.0 right there, and then you have your power button, as well as your DC connector port and your reset pinhole, and a sync button. So hopefully that comes out nice and clear for everyone watching at home. And it's a fairly, subdued unit. I like the form factor. Quick start guide right here. We know what's underneath, right? Another one, the satellite. Guess what? It looks exactly the same. If I didn't mention it before, I think I did. 6 antennas in each of these devices. And 4,000 square feet should have me covered. Here, of course, because it's the satellite, you have 4 outputs because one of them is not being used clearly for the input from your modem. You're not going to have any support problems with any internet providers, so don't worry about that. I could say that for pretty much any mesh system. I don't think there's anything else in this box, so that's a good thing. But, when it comes to performance, again, remember that Orbi is going to decide in tandem with your device what kind of connection you're actually going to be afforded. because all of the bands have been combined to one SSID. I keep reiterating that. I don't want anyone to be surprised. That was something that I knew going into this dance. Ethernet cable, thank you very much, Netgear. You might need that with a product like this, right? And then a whole boatload of power bricks. As you may have noticed, we have two of them. Un and deux. And yeah, because we do have two, right? And then, let's see. Paper, paper, paper. Yeah, just more paper. So there you have it. I will report back. Feels like something else is in here. I don't know. Maybe not. I will report back, of course, on performance and, what I think of the Orbi. But, this thing already has fantastic reviews across the board. So I expect it to perform as it's been written up. It's been on the market for a while. As I mentioned earlier, I know that there were some tremendous headaches before firmware was updated. So as long as you update the firmware, as I mentioned earlier in this unboxing, before you start setting things up, before you get your hands dirty, so to speak, you should be good. But all of that aside, if you're looking for the best throughput of your connection throughout the largest scope of square footage, the Orbi right now seems to be the way to go. I'm going to test that, of course, and report back. But you can find this on sale. I mentioned between $350, $400. That's because that's what it's priced on any given day. I was able to pick one up through Newegg for $330, no tax. So this is not furnished to me by Netgear. It would be nice, wouldn't be bad to get one of these for free, especially since everything's gone. But really, it comes down to it's expensive. However, if it solves all of your Wi-Fi, networking issues, then it's really a very small price to pay, especially considering what you're already paying for your home internet access. Prices are only going up, and they're going to continue to do that. Just like mobile data on phones, even though now unlimited's coming back. We know a lot of cable providers, no unlimited. I don't have it. I used to. I don't anymore. So if you want to eliminate buffering, if you have a lot of Wi-Fi devices like myself, if you have any home network devices, thermostats, lighting, you're using, an Amazon Echo, a Google Home, whatever it may be, this is ideal if you want to make the network as strong as possible, eliminate weak spots, and on top of that, not sacrifice coverage speed in the process of extending it. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.